come on in and join us.
You're here on a great day. We're going down on the farm today with Adopted Acres.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat, meet the Whiff Pack. Thing 1, Thing 2, Selena's in there, Gorguts is our fragrance advisor, friends from all over the world, and they'd love to meet you too.
They would, and for our mention today, we wanted to remind you to go check out the Etsy page for Adopted Acres because recently they dropped foaming hand soap and bath fizz and new scents for each of those, so they may be great for some holiday gifts coming up.
Well, speaking of holiday gifts, one of them is in a scent inspired by the Barbershop Duet the night before Christmas. And what is our soap today?
We have Pumpkin Sandalwood Noir. We couldn't quite sneak this in before the Halloween season was over, but we think it'll work for all of fall. So come along with us to meet the soap.
All right, y'all, from the Etsy sales page for Adopted Acres.
Step into the shadows of fall with Pumpkin Sandalwood Noir, a hauntingly warm and seductive twist on the classic pumpkin scent. This handcrafted shave soap captures the cozy comfort of autumn nights, where flickering lantern light meets the rich glow of a barn's wooden beams.
The scent opens with a creamy pumpkin accord blended from 2 artisan fragrance oils, one spicy and nostalgic, the other smooth and dessert-like. Beneath the sweetness, a refined heart of sandalwood and soft amber add sophistication, while smoky undertones of leather embers, charred cedar, and a wisp of smoke oud ground the fragrance in rustic darkness. Y'all, the olfactory fingerprint of Adopted Acres is a wisp of smoke. Well, it makes sense to me. Every ranch house I've ever been in has a potbelly stove in the middle. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go.
It's not your typical pumpkin spice. It's pumpkin refined for the gentleman. Our luxurious artisan base delivers a dense, creamy lather with outstanding cushion, glide, and post-shave feel, leaving your skin soft, hydrated, and ready to face crisp autumn mornings.
Well, something better. I am never ready to get out of bed on a crisp autumn morning.
You do shave at night, so maybe for a crisp autumn evening for our household.
There you go. And I love the idea that he has blended 2 different pumpkins together, because let's face it, the smell of your jack-o'-lantern is not the same smell as your pumpkin bread. But we may get the best of all worlds today, y'all. Let's take it out of the box. Oh, it's the last one in the box, y'all. Oh, I love the clear lid on that.
Right.
That's cool. That's new. Oh, y'all, and this splash comes with your choice of restrictor. If you like a spray top, it comes pre-installed, but if you like the traditional cap, they got you covered.
We weren't ready to let go of the spookiness, so I'm glad there's kind of a little jack-o'-lantern vibe going on here.
And there might be a little bit of a funny and interesting story about our very first brush up against this scent in its embryonic form, but we'll tell you a little bit about that when we have our first impression. Alexa, what is the definition of the word noir? N-O-I-R.
Noir is the French word for black. It's used as both a noun and adjective, often referring to a style of crime fiction and film characterized by dark, cynical themes and bleak settings. N-O-I-R.
Is that why film noir is always in black and white? Or is it always in black and white? Put it in the comments. We just watched The Thin Man last year. That definitely counts. But Chinatown, that's where it's at. That's in color.
Now we just have more questions. But I was thinking noir is more in like the fragrance world because that's used too. But I guess maybe it is more of like that black kind of a tone.
Right, the darker scents, the smokier scents.
Because they did mention a little oud action in here, so.
All right, take it in, see what you get. It's ironic. We just had to throw out your jack-o'-lantern this morning.
Yeah, God did. All right, here's the pour, y'all. In case you like to see, there's lots of room in there for you to be able to build your own lather. You'll see us do it in the bowl later, but just throw it out there.
If you're going to do it in the tub, there's nothing wrong with that, Foxy.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It has much more of a bougie action than I was expecting. I was thinking a little more at the farm, but no, this is more going out after, I think there's like a cologne kind of thing coming through. The oud action, something in there really matured the pumpkin vibe up in a cool way.
Nice.
Cool as in fun, not as in the temperature, but that may work as well. The pumpkin's there, but right when my mind is trying to figure out if it's going to go gourmandy, then it jumps into the sandalwood zone, and that adds its own like natural creaminess from the sandalwood that works super well next to the pumpkin. So it doesn't go very dark at the beginning. At the end, the send-off is like a light, kind of smoky, mature, perfumey, cologne-y kind of a something at the end. So there is a 3-act play going here. The title of those 3 words are really coming through in their own little chunks here. I would almost swear there's like new leather boots or a new leather chair or something nearby. So maybe that's the little farm business coming through.
Yeah, next to the potbelly stove was Grandpa's chair. Soft, broken in leather.
Yeah, but that's still making this have a brand new scent to me. So I pictured those types of leathers in mind, but this smells fresh off the farm. It has not been sitting there for many years.
Pumpkin's hard to do. Half the pumpkin spices we have don't have any pumpkin in them because it's not about the pumpkin. It's about the spice.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I could even notice the 2 sides of the pumpkin here. And I gotta say, the beginning of it, it's almost like if the pumpkin could be more of a citrus or a floral side to the pumpkin. It's still keeping the pumpkin scent, but it's almost a different perspective. And then the second half of the pumpkin zone doesn't quite go gourmandy, but there's a little more spice action. So it's not full on pumpkin spice, but there are some spices with the pumpkin. Right. I don't get hit by the bottle of the actual pumpkin spice, like the cinnamons and the nutmegs and all of that. But somehow they're adding a fall kind of spice to it.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't picture the bottle of the actual pumpkin pie spice. It doesn't quite go cinnamon, nutmeg in my face, but there is a autumn, fall kind of spice coming through. So maybe that's blending into the sandalwood somehow, but it doesn't make me want to take a bite out of this at all.
Maybe the anti-pumpkin spice. It has none of the spice in all the pumpkin. We have found it.
That was on the sales page. Pumpkin spice, but for the gentlemen. Right. And I would agree from here. Although the ladies over here would like to use this as well.
Well, Nando's going to love it. He's a sandalwood fanatic. Mm-hmm.
It's adding a creamy to this that I didn't realize it needed. Like almost if you picture a pumpkin spice latte, it's the latte part. Like it's just a little gentle, creamy, not quite sweet, but it just adds that cozy, warm kind of feel.
Right. Well, you know how when you hear 2 things and you're like, those would go together beautifully. Peanut butter, chocolate. Tell me your brain doesn't light up that same place when you hear pumpkin and sandalwood. Oh.
Let me dive in past that and see if I get the noir action.
Oh, right. We almost forgot about the noir part.
Noir.
Is there noir or is there some noir?
You know, it is here, but it's almost how when we read like pepper as a scent note.
Right.
There's something about that that's just adding a crispness, a spice to this in a different lens, kind of that crisp, clean note to send you off.
Well, sometimes I think it just describes the color of the lenses you're putting on that you're viewing this with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're going to have to make this whole video in
Gray,
black and white
dark,
now.
Right.
It's kind of like the beginning of Wizard of Oz now.
My friend Val grew up with a black and white television only. It's probably why she's so well adjusted. And she was married watching The Wizard of Oz when it turned color. And she went, What the hell? Has it always done that? Yeah!
Can you imagine not knowing that actually happened?
She was in her 30s.
Wow. All right, I think you're going to enjoy getting the colorful whiffs of this one, though.
I'm excited. All right, taking it in. The shaking clap. Going down to the farm. E-I-E-I-O. It's a reinvention of pumpkin spice. Y'all, if pumpkin spice lights up your soul the way it does for me, I own 3 bottles of Sterling's pumpkin spice aftershave just for the various menthol levels. Y'all, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. While every single pumpkin spice scent we have shares a very similar spine, this one completely goes in the other direction. It's almost like turning up the spicy part of the pumpkin squash itself and letting that be the heart of a spice that then binds with everything about the sandalwood that isn't creamy, because that's what defines sandalwood. It's a creamy wood, but it's also a very spicy one that creaminess sits on. So where the spice of the sandalwood and the spice of that pumpkin are coming together is a brand new spine of pumpkin spice for me. And I adore this. Hold on. And you're right. Funny, but not gourmandy, because this does not speak to a food that you know. It borders a little on pumpkin bread, but there's something that informs your nose that it's not edible. It's not meant for that. It's meant for this.
I think that's where the sandalwood might take over. See what you get.
And just before I forget, there is something a little earthy in the base that binds these scent notes together so beautifully and does for the entire line of Adopted Acres. I think it's one of the ways the artisan reminds you are standing on farmland. You know what this captures in a very realistic way that none of our other scents that kind of list that idea do? This is kind of buttery.
Yeah,
do you get the sense of like
way
a
to put
hot buttered something going on in the middle of that?
Yeah, almost like when you are cooking a yam or another squash or something.
Right.
And the outside caramelizes and it's like a brown sugary kind of thing.
And you put marshmallows on top for Thanksgiving.
That's as gourmandy as it gets, though.
And y'all, it goes high in the spices. It's not like it stays in the molasses lane of things. It goes ginger kind of thing. There is something that's lifting it up into the lights, but you're right. No clove. No cinnamon? No allspice? And for those of you with a cinnamon sensitivity, well. But you know what it does perfectly? We all have this nostalgia button deep within us that certain seasonal air fresheners or wax melts occasionally try to access. But this speaks to something deep in our collective unconscious, deeply autumnal, but on the outskirts, a little bit of a sense of your mom making you something in the oven that you can eat before dinner. I wonder if Kara's nose got on this a little bit. Oh, and I just found the smoke. It took that long, y'all, to find the smoke, but it's there. A little bit of the potbelly stove smoke, but I think equal parts a little bit of that mysterious oud under the surface that is giving this such a richness and pulling you away from the farm and into dreamland just a little at the end of this whiff.
It really gives me like a sense of being away from the chaos of the city.
Yes.
Like whether that's them on the farm, like there's just something, the oudness, just there's a silence in the air.
And this is the farthest thing from a Starbucks pumpkin spice that I could imagine. I think that's why it takes you out to somewhere different. Somewhere where there's real dirt under your feet and real branches on the trees.
Or real wood in your barn. Just saying.
They should have a soap called Wood in Your Barn.
I was talking about the Sandalwood,
It's a
but
great band
there
name,
you go.
I'm telling you. Well, before we find out what's hiding in my barn, why don't we look at these scent notes and build a lather? All right, y'all, back to the Etsy page for Adopted Acres. We start with top notes of spiced pumpkin, toasted vanilla. And I was wrong. There was a little bit of a clove in here, maybe adding a traditional pumpkin spice spiciness a little bit to the outskirts of this.
Yeah, but it doesn't go cinnamony. So I think the clove is kind of a warmer version of it.
And you know, the clove that we have from Perfumer's Apprentice really does smell like smoke to me more than it does spice. So maybe that's how he's using it.
And a much drier kind of side somehow. And then we have heart notes of sandalwood, creamy woods. Well, we got that. And amber.
That's kind of inspired because sandalwood is known as the creamy wood to start with.
Yep.
And then putting that against some other Shiefra, some other white creamy woods is kind of inspired. Amber. Give it a little sense of golden sunlight to this autumn farm day. Are you sensing some amber in there?
But that with the toasted vanilla from the top part, like somehow that blended perfectly to that next tier.
Is it me? Or is the toasted vanilla kind of the spine of this? I think it's just as prominent as the pumpkin. And I bring you glad tidings of great joy. It's phenomenal.
They are best friends, whatever that concoction is doing.
And then down into the base notes. And this is how we know Doug loves us. Smoked cedar, leather. And y'all, it's just kind of, you know how leather can kind of smell smoky? Yeah. That's what it is. It's not the heart of the leather. It's not a suede thing. It's not a barber chair thing. It's not a new car thing. Just that.
It's almost like just a whiff behind you. It's not even on you. It's just around.
Yeah, just the smoky part.
And then we got our oud and our embers. Those blend together.
I was going to say not unrelated. One, a little bit mysterious from the far-off Aqualaria trees. And the other one from the potbelly stove in your farmhouse.
Whatever the intensity is of each of those tiers, they are such a nice blend. I almost couldn't even pull apart the top, the heart, the base. Like they are just blended. So your whiff is a lovely tour of that whole whiff.
And y'all, if you are worried about this being a little bit more on the whimsical, nostalgic childhood side of things, because it is so gourmandy and there's a jack-o'-lantern on the label, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. Those bass notes add a depth of mystery and spice that grow this up.
This is probably one of the most crowd-pleasing, office-friendly versions of anything with pumpkin that we've had this season.
Or sandalwood. And where did you get that fabulous bowl that matches our set perfectly?
This is from Sharp Shaver.
Yeah, y'all check out Philip's channel. He's got great videos here on YouTube. And I'm just going to grab a little bit more than an almond size of this Grand Champion base, and Sarah is going to make a thin layer of it at the bottom of her bowl. Might get wide, might take up darn near the entire bottom of your shaving bowl. That's okay, because the first goal is just to transfer all of that soap, or as much of it as you can, up onto that brush before we start making our tiny bubble. So why do y'all put paid promotion on every single video you release for the Barbershop Duet when you still buy most of your soaps? Well, YouTube's rules insist that since this was given to us as a gift by Sean and Julie Smaldridge, we technically have to put that on all our videos because we feature it on every episode, and you will get this when you pry it from my cold dead hand.
This was free to us, too. This was a gift, so that counts also.
Thank you, Philip. This was one of the prototypes of Philip's bowls. They sure made a splash in this world. All right, and why don't you tell the good folks how you're going to build your lather?
I've got my Amber Aerolite from PAA. We thought it fits the fall vibes here, so we take that dry brush onto the soap that got a little water from the spritzer going on. We go one direction, get it onto those little bristles, and go the other direction. And once it feels like it's not actually getting onto the bristles anymore, I'm going to turn my brush and go for it again. Keep swirling one direction, and then go in the other direction. And again, once it's not quite getting onto those bristles, I turn.
To everything, turn.
And most of that soap is finally onto these bristles here. So I'm going to dive down and start adding the water into this lovely lather to show you how quickly it starts waking up my friends. It looks a little thirsty. I might need a little more water.
I was telling Barry Bedford this morning, that's the only brush I regret you got, and I didn't.
Sorry. The only thing we really don't share are our bowls and our brushes. Yeah. So there is something about this Grand Champion base. It's already showing off that iridescence and nice padded slickness. Since you want to try out this brush, give her a little test try.
I do. I was jealous. Oh, I love this. You can literally feel the lather when it sets up to its final form.
It still might need a little more water. You put a little extra in there.
Well, much like the farm, you can keep irrigating till the cows come home. Yo, eyebrows go up when they lather this for the first time. It's just different. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Will You Please Bring In Your Jack-O-Lanterns from Past Halloweens with on 3, 1, 2. Oh, it's nice how those come together right there. There's almost an outside whiff of like a bubble gum or something going on under the surface of this for me.
More in the soap or the lather?
Both. Okay. I'm finding it more because of the signposts in the lather.
I can see where you're getting that. I wouldn't come to my mind immediately, but I can see why there's the inner kid nostalgia moments just coming out.
It's just a resinous sweetness kind of a thing. It's not really bubble gum.
Don't they make gum from tree sap?
And y'all, I love it when Doug Lane FaceTimes me when he's about to have a shave so I can watch this Grand Champion base coat and cover a moneymaker, and we realize you may not be able to watch that, so I want you to see how this coat and covers.
That's a thick one there. Oh, man.
Inferior moneymaker over here. But if you want to see the lather go on a beautiful face, behold. All right, here we go. Look at that. Look at that.
This is when I'm jealous that you guys get to shave your face, because then you get to whip it closer to your nose. Our legs are far away. We don't get all this fun.
Yeah, having had to shave my legs weekly when I did hairspray, be grateful. Y'all don't have to do that.
Although if you get the role now, we have a plethora of wonderful wet shaving products compared to what you probably used to use back then.
That's true. I might want to audition. They're doing it in San Francisco next summer.
And you've got double the surface area I do to practice your wet shaving skills.
Well, y'all, come along with us. There might be one or two mysteries left to discover, so we're going to take this a little deeper. Sometimes I accidentally inspire mashups by smelling this towel.
Yes.
Pumpkin Sandalwood Noir and Doppelganger 4.
Good friends.
Yeah. You know, as I get older and learn more about myself, I think I actually prefer this. to the spray cap. All right, here we go. Taking in a little bit of this splash from Adopted Acres. Let's see what else we can discover.
Pumpkin-y fun here.
Oh,
there's more Oodie.
Green. Yeah, and smoky going on in here. This is nice, and I love how it feels in my face.
Even the amber and maybe some sort of like the other cedar business. They're talking, y'all.
Somehow the amber and the oud are coming to the surface in the splash, and the pumpkin's kind of taking a backseat here. This is nice.
This gets a little more masculine, I'll say. Not
Yeah.
not that I wouldn't use it, but it does have a little more masculine forward where I can see the sales page making a lot more sense now.
It's got more peppery spices. It's got darker edges to it. Very nice.
The noir is turned up.
Right. There it is. It smells like ebony.
Yeah.
What was the one that we had that an ebony note? That's kind of here too.
Almost like obsidian or something.
Right, like a guaiac.
Yeah.
Wood or a super dark wood under there, but presented in sort of a lighter way.
Yeah, this has the little ember sides coming through.
Yes.
The kind of sitting next to the stove like you were mentioning, like the charcoaliness, but like in the best cozy fall vibes version.
And speaking of Doppelganger 4, while that was fall done in the lights, this is fall done in the golden hour. You know, that 45 minutes before the sun completely disappears, where everything takes on a beautiful golden sheen and everything has long shadows. A lot of movie directors like to shoot during the golden hour. That's what this makes me feel like.
Or if you're on the farm, it's right before the sun comes up. There's somehow that flip side of that coming through too.
You know how they always say the night is darkest just before the dawn? Did that ever make sense to anybody else? I think they mean right when you're ready to give up, something will jump in to save you. But that's a weird way to say it.
I'm getting like an incense-y kind of a thing. Maybe at the end of this?
I'm getting caramel, so we're going off in very different directions. But tell me you're not getting a little sense of a melted Kraft caramel square in this going along with the smoke.
You know when you accidentally burn your marshmallow? There's kind of that ember vibes coming through, just saying. We do have Campfire Cravings on the piano, so that one's coming soon
We're
from
going to put
Adopted
those
Acres.
hands together. I think this might be our first Adopted Acres mashup. And y'all, if you do get frustrated, as some of you have mentioned that you do when you see pumpkin in a name, but it's not really represented in the scent, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. This one, at the end of the day, starts with a beautiful, pristine, golden, glorious pumpkin squash, and then everything else falls in line around it. So if you are a fan of that definitively autumnal scent of the actual fruit, and it's the fruit, there's seeds in there, this would be your pony.
Out of all the pumpkin scents that we have, though, this one is still in its own lane or spin or twist on how they're using the pumpkin, which is fun.
And y'all, back at the beginning of our journey, and pretty much at the beginning of his, Doug Lane sent us a hand soap bar that was 100% tallow, scented with the original version of Pumpkin Sandalwood Noir. This version is way better. Whatever you did made it grow up beautifully. But the funny thing about a bar of soap that's 100% tallow, it's slicker than goose snot, but it doesn't lather at all. Not a single bubble. That's not how tallow works. So in our shave soaps, tallow is what gives us the slickness. But everything from stearic acid to sugar cubes are what help you make the bubbles. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus and Sarah getting a surprise bar of soap in the mail from Doug Lane. You're going to open it and smell it. It's going to be amazing. You're going to go to make a lather and wash your hands. But nothing's going to happen. And you're going to call him and say, hey, buddy, I don't know if you should sell these bars of soaps. And he's going to laugh his farmer butt off, and you're going to get your own. So head over to etsy.com/shop/Adopted Acres Soap Co. to find this and all kinds of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Pumpkin Sandalwood Noir, and you know what's really cool about this? Most scents in our collection have taken a couple of weeks to make their way into my scent memory banks, so that without smelling them, my memory can recall what they smelled like. But this, all I had to do was smell this for 10 seconds, and my nose had instant recall to all of its nooks and crannies. I don't know, my degree's in psychology. Maybe there's something in the collective unconscious that understands this particular blend, but it is stunning. It is deep. It is rich. It's nostalgic. It's perfectly autumn. It's beautifully masculine. And we will be back for s'mores. Welcome to Messages.
So for our November giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Barrister and Man.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first December episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck. We're going back for more.
Dude, this is an iconic scent. This is one that year after year, my memory is going to remind me, hey, go grab some of that when the weather starts turning cold and crisp.
I am getting the pumpkin flesh kind of a vibe.
Yes, 100%.
Here, almost like if the pumpkin could be like a fruit somehow, like that natural squashy side.
Tomato, too. Just put it out there.
But it's not like the McDuff's rotten flesh. This is fresh flesh.
Right, which we didn't actually perceive as rotten, but Sean assures us he put stank in there. So Doug, Kara, and all your kiddos at Adopted Acres, thank you so much for sending this out for free to review. It will become a cherished part of our shave locker.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell so much better just watching this.